All right. Thank you very much, all the audience, for your kind participation to this session, which I will talk about the environmental engineering at National University of Singapore. So here is Professor Hu Zhangyong, the director of the Environmental Science and Engineering program at Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, NUS. I'd like to welcome all of you. And also I will brief you about our environmental science and engineering program in this session. Next slide, please. Together with me, we have my head of department and my colleagues and students in this program. Later on, we will, after my briefing, we will take your questions to address whatever you want to find out. First of all, I'd like to brief you about what is environmental engineering. Okay, environmental engineering focuses on exploring scientific principles and translating them to protect human and our valuable ecosystems from the impact of adverse environmental issues due to anthropogenic and natural causes, and to improve environmental quality. Environmental engineers develop innovative solutions and technologies to manage our natural resources, improve health of the living systems, and improve the environment quality in a sustainable and a cost-effective manner. Okay, in Singapore, when people think about environment engineering works and what environmental engineers can do, usually we will talk about the very famous mega projects like Marina Barrage as well as a new water plant. Frankly speaking, in this civil and environmental engineering department, we have a group of the researchers who developed the new water, almost like 15 years ago, together with government agencies, and that's why we make the new water a reality in Singapore society. All right, so that gives you a very good idea about what environment engineers can do, can achieve, can contribute to the nation. Next slide, please. All right, why you may like to consider environment engineering? To answer this question, first of all, I'd like to ask the audience one question, that is, do you ever dream about contributing to energy conservation, new sources of energy, carbon neutrality, circular economy, carbon footprint reduction, water, soil, and air purification, management of the waste, protection of the environment, mitigation of the climate change, as well as the development of a smart and sustainable city for all to live? Okay, if your answer is yes, if you are willing to save the environment and you are willing to actually create impact to the society, environmental engineering is the program for your dream. Next slide, please. Okay, do you know about Singapore Green Plan 2030, which was just announced on 10th of February 2021, just a few weeks ago? So this is a nationwide movement towards sustainable development. A few government agencies chart Singapore's green plan in the coming 10 years, which includes city in the nature, sustainable living, energy reset, green economy, and resilient future. Right? If you read about this Green Plan 2030 very carefully, you're going to find out that existing technologies for protecting the environment, for reducing the energy, need to be enhanced. New technology need to be developed over the time in order to achieve the objective under the Green Initiative. And increasing stringent regulation will be introduced and implemented. What's more, the Green Initiative will be an international effort. So it is foreseeable that the progress will be ongoing for many years, even beyond 2060. So in that kind of a document, very rich document, you are able to find many opportunities for creating green solutions emphasized by the government. And no doubt, there are lifelong opportunities for environmental specialists. Next, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so what is a unique feature of the Environment Science and Engineering program offered by Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering? So first of all, QS World University Ranking ranked environmental number 15, NUS environmental number 15 in the world in 2020. And our student, after joining us, will have many experiential learning, associative learning, and active interaction experiences with our educators, with our industry partners, and with our alumni. And we have award-winning and highly experienced educators. Okay, our senior members receive a BBM recognition from the ex-president of Singapore, Dr. Tony Dandan. And we also received awards like top 50 engineering feats, right? So which demonstrate pretty well what our program, what our education, what our R&D activities contribute to the nation and create impact to the society. Okay, what's more, right? Despite the pandemic situation in 2020, our graduates enjoy 100% employment rate, okay, which is results we just released by MOE. And after graduation, our students also can consider professional registration. For example, they can register for a chartered engineer, which will make them, more, kind of like recognized in the industry and advance their career further. Next slide, please. All right, so this is our curriculum overview. So as mentioned just now by our other colleagues, all right, we will have, totally new curriculums starting from this August, which include university faculty common modules, okay, engineering common modules, environment engineering major modules, as well as restricted, unrestricted elective modules. All of those modules together is able to train our future-ready graduates for Industry 4.1 and make our graduates with multidisciplinary knowledge. Next slide, please. The domain areas covered by our curriculum include climate change, waste resource management, environmental sustainability, air quality, alternative energy sources, water quality enhancement, as well as water reclamation and reuse. Just now, the new water example is exactly underneath this water reclamation and reuse, and those are the very fantastic work our researchers and educators in the Department of Civil and Environment Engineering make and contribute to the nation, to the society. That's why we see the new water become a reality in Singapore for more than 10 years, all right? And we also offer specialization in the digitalization in the urban infrastructure. And this specialization, one student take is able to equip them with the skills to integrate digital technologies in the environment engineering to transform the design and operation of environmental systems and improve the quality of urban environment. Next slide, please. Okay, how to make use of the unrestricted elective spaces. I give you some examples here. So for example, if the student enroll into environment engineering, they are able to pair with some other major minor or specialization programs, up to their liking. So for example, environment engineering student can actually read economics, become environmental engineering leader in a global marketplace. They can read public health, then they will train themselves, become environmental public health specialist. They can also pair with business analytics, and then they will become environment engineers with business mindset. And they also can pair with management, and then they will become environmental engineering manager. And of course, they also can read civil engineer as another degree. So in this case, environmental engineering people will become registrable for professional engineer. Next slide, please. Okay, students once enter into our program, they enjoy vibrant student lives. For example, they are going to experience freshman orientation camp. They're going to go through many module field trips. They're going to have a lot of alumni student dialogue sessions, and they can also take part in international coastal cleanup campaign activities. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. All right, come to the third year, right? Sorry, the previous slide. Come to the third year, previous slide, please. Okay, a student is going to go for, next one, please. Come to the third year. right? Students go for global exchange opportunities as an exchange student, right? This is going to give them a lot of learning experience and a lot of opportunities, as mentioned by our student. Okay, student exchange program widen their horizon, make them become independent, confident, make them become more courageous and more adventurous. And they also get to know interesting topics, okay, offered by the partner universities. For example, nuclear power plants, river restoration, right? Problems faced in the water resource management due to climate change and water treatment in a country with totally different climate. And they also get to know renewable energy and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Sorry, please, previous one. Previous slide, please. Okay, so students go to overseas training program as well when they are getting into their higher years. For example, Ziwei, one of our final year students who represent NUS in the Future Sustainability Leader Program 2020. Okay, during the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week in 2020 January, and we have another final year student Junwei who represents Singapore in the Water Environment Federation, student design competition in 2018, and together with his team, they own the design competition award as a first Asian team, and they also enjoy a lot of technical training provided by WEFTEC during that WEFTEC session, which is in September 2018. So they have a lot of training programs like that when they are getting into their final years. Next slide. We also offer scholarships and awards in our program to our students. For example, there's a National Environment and Water Scholarship. There's a scholarship sponsorship offered by Building and Construction Authority. Students may consider Engineering Scholar Program and also NUS scholarships. And what's more, our department would like to offer the awards to the incoming students. Okay, and for example, the awards can be Sustainability and the Environment, Outstanding, Excellent Achievement Award. Next slide, please. In terms of career prospects, our graduates can opt for careers in a multidisciplinary field, and they can go to the public services, they can go to the private companies, and they can become policymakers, environmental specialists, technopreneurship, or leaders in the local and established national companies and government agencies. With Singapore's planned initiative in the sustainable development, this is going to further shape the demand for our graduates. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Right. So previous slide. Thanks. Right. So give you some examples what our students usually work in the different government agencies. Okay. For example, they can work as a researcher, they work as a planner, they work in the environmental safety area. Okay, in the consultancy and the other firms, our students actually can work in the green finance field, and they work as an environmental consultant, and they also work as an environment engineering manager. And some of them would like to actually practice entrepreneurship, so they promote sustainability and technopreneurship as well. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. All right, I'll give you one example, which is the Grant Up initiative, which is co-founded by one of our graduates, Xu Hong, a student graduated in 2021. This is a foundation for the 21st century compound culture, which promote a happier, livable, and sustainable future for the modern society. So you can see how our students actually help the society to transform, to further develop, to become a sustainable kind of a society, a modern society. And I'd like to also mention about the previous slide, which is another very exciting example for our students, okay, who set up a company called Water Room. And this water room is a social enterprise. Okay, they make use of their portable, affordable membrane technologies, help the mankind in the world. So they go to the Asian Pacific region, they help the poor villages to safeguard their drinking water. So in this way, they have already helped around 83,000 people until now. So you can see one of our alumni here, Vincent Luca. He's one of the actually founder for this water room company, and they really create an impact to the society even outside of Singapore. Next slide. And next, yeah. So you are able to tell, okay, this is a very exciting program, and you can see how our alumni is going to view, okay, what they have received from our program. For example, Lan Yang, okay, she viewed that NUS, environment engineering program is well recognized, and this program helped her to equip her with skills and knowledge to resolve technical challenges with creative solutions and provide her the opportunities to understand corporate research. And we also have Xing Hui, who's our ex-ESAC president. Okay, she viewed our program, make her understand the science behind our environment and design solution for today's technology. And currently, she happily works as an environmental consultant, apply simulation, apply environmental impact assessment to actually, to actually safeguard Singapore's environment. Next slide, please. And lastly, I'd like to share with you, how does our employers view about our program as well as our students? Okay, Dr. Law from Xylem, a well-known water company. Okay, he viewed our program well-designed and industry-orientated. Our students are technical competent, knowledgeable, and skilled, and ready for professional practice. And also Dr. Zhao from a local water company in Daco also view our program is multidisciplinary peer program, which can train future students, future leaders and managers, and also policymakers. And what's more, Mr. Trump from NEA also feel that our program is able to provide our student knowledge and skill set, enable them to work in the sustainability and renewable energy related industry and organization, and can help contribute towards Singapore's sustainability efforts. And what's more, if the student later on register for chartered engineers, they are able to actually further enhance their professional standing and credibility in the engineering community. And we have other comments given by companies like AECOM, a very famous consulting company, and they view our students are good team and players and can integrate into their team pretty well, as well as actually Mr. Tai view that our program basically gives student course training, and this will definitely enhance their career opportunities in Singapore and even in a global market. So next slide, please. With that, I'd like to welcome all of you to join our program, join a winning team, study NUS Environmental Engineering, and find out more information from this QR code. Okay, I will then end up my presentation here and invite my colleagues, my head of department, and my student in this program to address your questions if there's any.
Thank you, Jin Yong. There are a few questions. You can start with perhaps you can start with the first question on the top, please. There are 4 open questions for you.
All right, so let's look at the questions raised here. So, let's see. Okay, we have a number of the questions, and we have someone already mentioned that we would like to have this question to be answered live. So what difference will it make if I take a double major in EVE and CEE as compared to CEE with a minor in environmental? So, okay, let's see. Right, maybe I would like to invite my colleagues. Olivier, would you like to address this particular question about this double major in CE and EVE? Okay, or maybe a combination of major and minor.
Olivia, you're muted. You need to unmute.
Yeah, Olivia, please unmute.
Yes, I was just thinking, I don't think I'm the best person to answer this question.
Maybe I'm the best person to do that as a head of department. Now, a major is very different from a minor because the major, you go deeper into it. Just to give you some preview, major, you require to take 10 modules. So actually you go very deep and broad into that subject. For minor, you take only 5 modules, which is half the workload of a major. So for those who are very capable, it's worthwhile for you to do double major, for example, in civil and environmental majors. This will allow you to be able to sit for the examinations, eventually register as a professional engineering in civil engineering. And you can be a chartered engineers in future as environmental engineers, right? A minor will not allow you to do that. So after you graduate, you have to come back and take some certificates program or master program if you decide to go deeper into the professions.
Thank you, Richard. There's one more question, if I can surface up to the environmental team, engineering team. Why should I pursue a career in environmental engineering? This is a question from a student. Jane Yong,
I'm muted. Yeah, I noted that. Would you like to, Olivia, would you like to address this? Why should I take this environment engineering as my career?
Oh, this one I can take definitely. Environmental engineering is really the branch of the future. It's all about saving the planet. And we also do much more. We are the profession that is charged with protecting public health. So basically, environmental engineering is for people who want to make a significant contribution to the sustainable development of society. So it's very, very diverse, and therefore the job market is also expected to grow exponentially, locally and internationally.
Yeah, I would like to add on to just now what Olivia said. You know, this is really a very fascinating domain or professions for a student to actually look into seriously, because not only Singapore is pushing for a green plan, even internationally, a lot of governments are pushing for this sustainability development, carbon neutrality, and green plan as well. So there's many opportunities locally as well as globally. We train our students to actually make sure they have a knowledge and skill set which they are able to actually help the society to transform into a sustainable society, not only here in Singapore, also in a global community. So this is a very fascinating this profession, and it's growing so fast. So we actually urge the student really consider this, you know, as your domain, domain area for you to pursue. Okay, so we have another question here.
This is the last question.
This is the last question. Okay. So, hi, Professor. From the presentation, I realized both students, from chemical and environmental engineering, create a potable water filters. May I ask which aspects of the chemical engineering are emphasized in the environmental engineering? Okay, environmental engineering draw your knowledge in the chemistry, microbiology, biology, mathematics, physics, for you to come up with solutions. Definitely, chemical engineering, some parts of the knowledge, especially for water filtration, we will cover in the environment engineering. And in fact, the new water, as I mentioned before, the one really impact on the society, create sustainable solution for the Singapore is done by a group of the people in the civil and environmental engineering about 15 years ago. So you realize how important for you to pursue your career in this field if you are interested in making potable, clean water using some filters or using some other technologies which will contribute to the main can. All right, hope I answer your question.
Thank you, Jane Yong and team Environmental Engineering.